there, Tiffany and Brad here with Here's a Beers, and it's This Day in Disney for February 3rd. Yep.
3rd?
That's right.
How interesting.
It is interesting. Yes.
Our topic includes 3 individuals.
Yes. So back in 1945, on this day, Disney's 9th feature film, The Three Caballeros, was released.
Amazing.
Yep. Back in
A beloved ride in our day, but wow.
Also, yeah, this film's on Disney Plus, and we've seen this a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so it has 4 specific animated films in it. And it was released and produced as part of the studio's goodwill message with South America. And the film stars Donald Duck, and who in the course of the film is joined by old friend José Carioca and the cigar smoking parrot Saludos Amigos, representing Brazil, and later pistol packing rooster Panchito Pistoles.
Yeah, whose
right? Representing
pistols
Mexico.
Disappear regularly from the attraction.
Right.
By Imagine Yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So it actually is going to win 2 Academy Award nominations, though after a brief initial run, Walt Disney will pull it from general release due to bad press reviews. Guys.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, I guess whatever, guys, 1945, they're not listening right now, but probably. But yeah, that's kind of sad.
Yeah. Now, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong on this.
Probably.
But
Just
I believe that the movie premiered in Mexico in 1944 and then in the United States in 1955.
Yeah.
And I believe it had to do with World War II ending, because World War II ended in 1945.
Mm-hmm.
Now, while Walt was very supportive of the war effort, he assisted in allowing the studios to be used and even produced things for the war effort.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't a lot of animators, and himself included, go to South America in order to still produce work?
No.
Or Mexico to produce work?
That wasn't really the situation. This whole thing was actually planned in advance.
Okay.
There is rumors that Walt was trying to escape the war situation, and there was a strike at the time. So, you know.
Okay.
But this was planned.
Okay.
Either way. So I guess, you know, maybe if they had canceled it to, I don't know. I think they were happening. I don't know if they were, all that was going on.
Very
but
nice.
yeah.
So the war ended in 1945. They released it U.S. stateside.
Yeah. So this was a really important. I think this was really important for the animators who went, and their relationships with Walt, and also the growth they experienced. They were highly inspired by the things that they saw there and the people that they worked with. All the people who went on this particular goodwill tour, friendship tour, relationship actually came back really invigorated, and Walt was invigorated as well. So it was a really good trip, regardless of how well this film did. I think it should have done better. It just wasn't as well received.
Yeah, it was
at
interesting.
The time.
Like some of the reviews, they said that it was that it had moved from technique to like style and flash and bang, and that like Disney was becoming something that wasn't classic and technique, and they were very critical of it. But it was just a lot of like colors and and modern, you know, energies.
But then they needed it.
Yeah.
They needed it at the time. This is the mid-40s. I mean, you know, they needed to progress artistically. So it makes sense that they were getting inspiration from another country, I'm sure, if they had the means and ability. I mean, I think even today, when you look at like what Joe Rohde did with Animal Kingdom, you know, I've seen the documentaries and stuff. They went to India, they went to Africa, they went those places to be inspired physically. And I think that's what was, you know, this is the roots of that, and important to artists to really like be in the environment and feel these things, and they were inspired.
Yeah, and just for a moment in the film,
was inspired.
Infatuated, in fact. But just for a moment in the film is featured a song by Desi Arnaz too, Babalu. So culturally, we were experiencing a lot of public interest, and you know, South American and Latin music, you know, Puerto Rican music.
Right. The Goodwill tours.
So this
and
film was
and
right for release.
Oh yeah, it was so fun. And this is a film that we've always really liked, right?
Yeah. Easily.
Yeah. And then of course you have the ride as well. So you can experience that over at Epcot,
Mexico.
Which is interesting because originally that ride was something different that Mary Blair had worked on. And we've never
and some of
the
her
previous...
inspirations are still kind of seen in the pavilion outside of the ride.
But so often they'll take something like Three Caballeros, like whatever Mary Blair did, and make it go along with a modern film, but they didn't. They just made it go along with Three Caballeros. So, you know, they decided to do that. I don't know, like, what the decision making was.
And there's always talk of it becoming Coco, and I really hope it doesn't.
Yeah.
I hope it stays Three Cabs.
I think it would be nice. I thought this was a really important period, and just watching the film and then watching, is it El Grupo as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, and just seeing how they were interacting with all these different people and giving people down in Latin America a voice and stuff. I'm really surprised that that's not something that's more really talked about. This film was doing.
Yes.
I think it was super forward thinking and forward, you know, getting people
we're
from
only
other
now
countries
catching up
working
with the
together.
concepts that it was advancing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure, no doubt.
Really fun, and the music is really fun in it as well, like you were mentioning, and it was important and fun at the time too.
Yeah, there was Carmen, such and such. I'm sorry, I apologize, but there was a Carmen who was a very large Mexican or South American recording artist that was featured in it. So they did recruit not just the peoples and the environments, but the stars. So
I would say,
it was fun.
Like recruit's probably not even the word. Like it was definitely like collaborating. They were collaborating together and to make this. So it's really awesome. So have you guys seen Three Caballeros? Have you ridden the ride? Do you like it? And of course, the one thing we kind of glossed over, but and something that, you know, was more prevalent back then, but Donald is very saucy with the ladies, which is kind of weird because he's, you know, a cartoon character. I mean, you know, I'm sure many people think that's not a big deal and it's just funny and like the adult humor.
It seems so natural for Donald.
Right, it seemed natural for him, but at the same time, that was something people criticized as well.
They did.
Yeah.
They didn't like that.
Yeah, and so maybe that's something you guys don't like with your kids.
They thought that it was the words that they used was that they thought it was strange to have a cartoon character lust for flesh and blood. That's what they said. I'm not kidding you. That's what they thought.
Yeah, that was one of the critics, but I think that critic was maybe taking it a little too extreme.
Yeah.
But
that's the one that's still published to this day.
But I do think that we've come far from that, and there's a lot less of that in cartoons, particularly with the Disney company. So it's probably wise because kids are smart. Kids are smarter than they're given credit for. So we always have to be careful.
Yeah. We always, I mean, they're, in some ways, they're adults from birth. They certainly have full personalities.
Yeah. Taking charge in our house sometime. No, we love them. So, yeah, that's it for this day in Disney, and we will